So we have already covered the molecular description of N2 molecule, of lithium molecule. Okay, so of hydrogen molecule also we have seen. Now we'll see the next fourth one, that is molecular description of oxygen molecule. Okay, so this is the fourth in category. So for O2 molecule, molecular description of this O2 molecule. So oxygen is having atomic number 8. Okay, oxygen is having atomic number 8. Okay, atomic number 8, whose configuration is 1s2. Okay, 2s2 and 2p4 it will be. Okay, 2p4 it will be. So this is the electronic configuration of oxygen atom, one oxygen atom whose atomic number is 8. So now we have to see its molecular orbital description. So it will have 1s orbital will take part in it, 2s orbital will take part in it, and 2p orbital that will take part in it. Okay, so we'll see the structure first. Okay, first see the, this is the increasing energy level, okay, of a molecular orbital. This is 1s orbital. Okay, consider this is a 1s orbital. Okay, this is 1s orbital of this oxygen atom. Okay, this is one oxygen atom and this is another oxygen atom. Two oxygen atom, it is getting combined to form one oxygen molecule. So this is 1s configuration. Okay, two electrons are present here. Okay, two electrons are present over here. तो आप देख सकते हो यहाँ पे this way. These are the two electrons. Okay, in this oxygen atom and for this oxygen atom, when they get combined, they form, yes, so they form this 1s bonding molecular orbital, and this one is a anti-bonding molecular orbital it will form. So bonding orbital molecule, which is represented by sigma 1s, and this is sigma star 1s, anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, so this is for 1s orbital. Now another orbital that will take part, atomic orbital, that is a 2s orbital. Okay, so I will show here. This is a 2s orbital of this oxygen atom. This is another 2s oxygen atom. This is another, yes, this is another atom, and its orbital is like this. Two electrons are present in its orbital. And now this will get merged. This will get combined and it will form, yes, it will form this sigma, I will write here, sigma star 2s orbital, and this one is a sigma 2s orbital. This will be a sigma 2s bonding molecular orbital, and this one is the anti-bonding molecular orbital. For this different oxygen atom, this is one oxygen atom and this is another oxygen atom, it is forming O2 molecule. Now when we talk about the 2p4 orbital, okay, so if we see in case of a 2p4 orbital, so its classification, okay, in the respective orbital will be like this. One electron is present in this, suppose this is 2px, this is 2py, and this is 2pz orbital. So 1, 2, 3, and in this way the 4 electrons, okay, that will get classified. So if you are observed this in this 2p4 orbital, so 2px2, 2py1 and 2pz1. So in this way x orbital is completely filled, y orbital is half, y and z orbital are respectively half filled orbitals. Okay, that you can observe here. So this is about its 2p4 orbital, okay, or 2p orbital. So we'll draw for 2p4 or 2p orbital. So yes, this is 2p orbital. So we'll show here, this is, yes, So this is 2px. This is what? 2px orbital. Okay. This is 2py orbital. This is 2py orbital. One electron is present over here. And this is another 2pz orbital. 2pz orbital. Okay. Same here. Okay. Same we will have to show here. This is, yes, this is suppose 2pz. Okay. In reverse order we will show it. This is 2py and this one is 2px orbital, 2px orbital. So have a look at this right now once again with the 2p orbital. In x orbital there are two electrons, in y orbital there is one, and in the z orbital there is a one electron. Same here for this another oxygen atom. Okay. Now what will happen? One of the one of the electron of this 2pz orbital, okay, so it will form here, and in this way it will form sigma 2pz orbital. Okay, it will form this, I will write here, sigma, sigma 2pz orbital. Okay, this is sigma 2pz orbital, and this one it will form pi 2px and pi 2py. Okay, so I will write here pi 2px, and this one is a pi 2py orbital. So this one is a pi 2px and this one is a pi 2py orbital. Okay, so in this way there is a formation of pi which is unsymmetrical. Okay, which is unsymmetrical in nature because we are taking z-axis as the internuclear axis. So that's why it is written as a pi 2px and pi 2py, and for z orbital it is written as a sigma. Okay, symmetrical. The next one is now upward, if we are going to show here. Okay, so it is forming one pi star 2px. Okay, so I will represent over here. So this will be a pi star 2px, and this will represent pi star 2py orbital, and another last orbital that will be formed over here is, yes, yes, but there will be no any electrons that will be present over here because you look here, one electron of this atom and from z orbital and one electron from this z orbital will get combined and form a sigma 2pz. One electron from this x orbital left side and from this x orbital will form a pi 2px. One electron of this 2py orbital and one from this oxygen atom form 2py orbital, and here one electron is remaining for x orbital that will form a pi star 2px, that is anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, that will form anti-bonding molecular orbital. So I have shown here, I will correct it. I will correct it. Here there will be no any two electrons, only one electron will be present over here. Okay, only one electron from this. Okay, only one electron from this. Oh, only one electron from this 2px and only one electron from this 2py orbital. Okay, because it will remain pi star 2py orbital. Okay, so in this way it shows paramagnetic in nature. Okay, so this is the electronic configuration 1 2 3 4. Okay, so pi star to py. So here, yes, yes. So if you check this, okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. In this way there will be a total 8 electrons that will take part over here. Okay, and here this sigma star 2pz orbital, it will remain vacant. Okay, sigma star 2pz orbital, it will remain vacant orbital. Okay, so this is the description. Okay, molecular orbital description for oxygen molecule in respectively 1s, 2s, and its 2p orbital. Okay, so if we observe the electronic configuration of O2 molecule, okay, total 16 electrons will be there because one atom, 8 electrons are present. Okay, in one atom, 8 electrons are present. So if we observe electronic configuration of O2 molecule, okay, that is oxygen molecule. So it is having 1s, okay, sigma 1s, okay, sigma 1s2, then sigma star 1s2, then it is sigma 2s2, then sigma star 2s2 because 2 electrons are present here. Okay, then we consider sigma 2pz because we have already written the energy level in case of oxygen molecule O2 and F2 molecule. So sigma 2pz is having a lower energy as compared with this pi 2px and pi 2py. Okay, so that we will have to write here. Okay, sigma 2pz orbital, okay, sigma 2pz orbital, and here it is a pi 2px orbital. 2 electrons are present, pi 2py, 2 electrons are present. Okay, and in case of this pi star 2px, 1 electron, and in case of this pi star 2py, pi star 2px, 1 electron is present, and pi star 2py, 1 electron is present. In this way, total, if you will calculate, total there will be 16 electrons that will take part in the electronic configuration for the formation of this oxygen molecule, O2 molecule. If we check the bond order of O2 molecule, okay, what this bond order gives us? This bond order gives us the number of formation of a covalent bond in between these two atoms. Number of bonding atom, no, electrons minus number of antibonding electrons divided by 2. How many are bonding? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Total 10 number of the bonding electrons are present. Antibonding electrons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. 10 minus 6, 4 divided by 2. That is answer is 2. Bond order is 2. So you have seen in case of oxygen, okay, so there is a 2 covalent bond is present between these two oxygen atom for the formation of a oxygen molecule. What we have seen in case of nitrogen, it is forming 3 bond order, 3 covalent bond will be formed. Okay, so this bond order gives us the formation of a covalent bond in between these two atoms. O2 molecule is paramagnetic. Okay, so we have seen all other molecules, okay, they are showing a diamagnetic nature, but have a look at this. It is having unpaired electrons. It is having these unpaired electrons. And we know that in case of unpaired electron, what this molecule will show. Okay. So these two oxygen atom, they combines to form these oxygen molecule. So this is the middle one is the configuration of oxygen molecule. And this is showing unpaired electrons which is present in this molecular orbital, and this unpaired electron, okay, two unpaired electrons are present, two unpaired electrons are present, and due to this two unpaired electron, it is showing a paramagnetic in nature. It is showing paramagnetic in nature, paramagnetism. Okay, so paramagnetism, it is due to the unpaired electrons, it get attracts towards magnetic field. Okay, so two unpaired electrons in this pi star orbitals. So this is the molecular orbital description for the oxygen molecule. Okay, now the next one we will observe it for the fluorine molecule. Okay, F2 molecule के लिए देखते हैं. Fifth one is for the F2 molecule. Yes. Now we'll say for fluorine atom. Fluorine atom is having total 9 electrons in its outer orbit. So this is the increasing order of the energy level, which is shown in the left side. This one is, I think, our fifth molecule. Okay, fifth molecule, F2 molecule. F2 molecule. So fluorine atom. If we check this fluorine atom, fluorine is atomic number is 9 and its electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 6 plus 9, no, 5 will, there will be 5, 2p5, yes. 5 plus this 4, total atomic number will be 9. So in this we will see the molecular orbital description for this fluorine atom, okay, for fluorine molecule, F2 molecule. So very first orbital is 1s orbital. This is 1s orbital. It will get combined to form, yes. So this is 1s orbital and these are the 2 electrons in 1s orbital. These are the 2 electrons in 1s orbital. Yes. So they will form, one is bonding and another one is anti-bonding molecular orbital. Sigma star 1s. Sigma, this is 1s, bonding molecular orbital. Next one is a 2p or 2s orbital. Okay. Next one is a 2s orbital. So this is fluorine atom. This is one fluorine atom and this is another fluorine atom. These two fluorine atoms. Okay, this is one fluorine atom and this is another fluorine atom. It is getting combined to form this F2 molecule. One is of this, yes, this is 2s orbital of this. One will form bonding, one is form anti-bonding molecular orbital, which will be represented by sigma star 2s, and the lower one, which will be a sigma, yes, sigma 2s, bonding molecular orbital. We have seen in for the other molecules also. Now in case of 2p, this 2p5 orbital, it is having x and y orbital. Okay, two electrons will be present, and in case of z orbital, there will be only one electrons. Okay, which I will show here. So yes, this is 2px. This is 2py, and this is 2pz orbital. Have a look at it right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, in its 2p orbital, there are total 5 electrons that are present. Okay, so here it is. I will show 2pz. Okay, in the reverse order. This is 2px, and this is 2p. So this is 2py, and this is 2px. 2px orbital. Okay, so we have shown here right now. Okay, for this fluorine atom, a 2p orbital, and for this fluorine atom, this is the orbital. Okay, so now we'll see. Okay, now we'll see what it is forming. It is forming a 2pz orbital. One of this electron and one of this electron is getting combined to form this 2pz orbital. Okay, sigma star 2p, sorry, sigma 2pz orbital, sigma 2pz orbital. Here, here what will happen? One of this x and one of this y, okay, will get combined in this way. It will form a pi. It will form a pi to px, and it will form a pi to py orbital. Okay, it will form pi to py orbital. Pi to px and pi to py orbitals it will form. Okay, so one electron of this respectively x and y, and one electron from this x and y will get combined and they will form, yes, they will form here pi star. Yes, they will form pi star to px and pi star to py. So this is pi star to px, pi star to py orbital. And in the last, okay, it is the orbital that will be formed is a will remain vacant, and that is it will remain vacant, that is sigma star to pz orbital, sigma star to pz orbital. In this way, this is classification 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, total 10 electrons that will take part in p orbital for fluorine atom, for these two fluorine atoms. Okay, so 10 atom. So in this way, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 orbital, and this sigma star to pz, it will remain vacant. So this is the we can say this is the molecular description of this F2 molecule fluorine atom. Okay, so this is one fluorine atom and this is one fluorine atom get combined to form this middle one is a F2 molecule. Okay, which is shown in the middle. So this is F2 molecule. If we see electronic configuration, if we see electronic configuration of this F2 molecule, so this electronic configuration of this F2 molecule can be written as sigma 1s2 sigma star 1s2. आप check कर सकते हो sigma 1s2 sigma star 1s2 then sigma 2s based on their increasing order of their energies, sigma 2s2 then sigma star 2s2 then sigma to pz. Okay, then next one is the sigma to pz, sigma to pz. Okay, two electrons are present, then pi to px, pi to px, and pi to px, two electrons are present, pi to py, two electrons are present, and then the next one is the pi star to px. Okay, pi star to px, two electrons are present, and last one is the pi star to py, two electrons are present. If you will check the, it will get complete total number of electrons 18. 18 electrons will be present in their this electronic configuration. So if we find out the bond order now, because this bond order tells us the formation of how many covalent bond between these two different atoms. Bonding minus anti-bonding electrons divided by 2. See how many bonding electrons are present? 1, 2 bonding for 1s. 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So total 10 number of bonding electrons are present minus anti-bonding electrons, which is showing upward 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So 10 minus 8 is 2 divided by 2, so bond order is 1. So in this way we can say that for fluorine fluorine, so this is a one covalent bond which is present between this fluorine fluorine atom, because this bond order tells us this information. Okay, and is there any unpaired electrons you are observing? There is no any unpaired electrons, all are paired electrons, all are paired electrons that are present in this fluorine atom. As we have seen in case of oxygen, there is an unpaired electron. Okay, two in unpaired electrons are present, one is a star pi star to px and pi star to py में आपने देखा. That's why it is paramagnetic in nature, but this is diamagnetic in nature. Diamagnetism. Okay, diamagnetism, it is due to all paired electrons. So we can write here all paired electrons. So this is the general information. This is the molecular description about molecular description of these different molecules we have seen. Okay, now we will focus on the different parameters of the covalent bond. Whatever this covalent bond is formed, okay, between the different atoms. So we'll see general parameters, okay, or the different parameters of these covalent bonds. What is the meaning of bond angle, bond dissociation energy, okay, bond को break करने के लिए कितनी energy लगती है, that we will see. Okay. So now we'll see the parameters of covalent bond, the different parameters of the covalent we'll see. So parameters of the covalent bond. Parameters of covalent bond. Yes. So what are the parameters of the covalent bond? We have seen just now. Okay, the formation of the bond. Okay, one bond is formed between, suppose, this fluorine atom. Now what are the parameters that are associated with this covalent bond? One is the bond length. How much is the bond length? That will be written in terms of picometer. Bond length. Okay, how much is the length between this bond? Another parameter that will be, what is the bond angle that is between these two different atoms? What is the bond angle? Angle kitna hai? Amount of that energy. Okay, bond enthalpy, that is the amount of energy which is required to break this bond. Okay, all these parameters, there are various parameters which are associated with the, okay, covalent bond. So covalent bond is characterized by different parameters. These parameters helps to understand how strong is the bond between these two atoms. So right now we have seen two different atoms. In these two different atoms, how much is strong bond is present, that will be decided by these parameters of this covalent bond. How much bond length is present, how much amount of energy is required to break a bond. Okay, that all we will discuss, okay, in details. What is the distance between them, that is the bond length, and what is the shape of the molecule. Okay, what is geometry of the molecule. Okay, the shape of molecule, all things is these are decided by these parameters. So in this category, very first we will see the bond angle. In this category we will first see is the bond angle. Now what is this bond angle? Okay, bond angle we have already written. For a different hybridization also we have written bond angle. So it gives us the bond angle that is present between two different atoms. So the electrons which participate in bond formation are present in orbitals. The angle between the orbitals holding the bonding electrons is called as the bond angle. Consider the case of this H2 molecule. Okay, this is one hydrogen atom and this is another hydrogen atom. One of the electron from this oxygen atom and one of this electron from the oxygen. It will form a bond, covalent bond with this one of the electron from the hydrogen atom. Okay, and now there will be 1, 2, and this 3 and 4 electrons that will be remain as it is unpaired for this oxygen molecule, but they will complete its octet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in this way. As well as this hydrogen molecule, it will complete its duplet. Okay, duplet in the complete of that. And now see here, OH, okay, oxygen and hydrogen atom के बीच में one covalent bond is present right now, and this is another covalent bond which is present between oxygen and hydrogen atom. Now what is the angle between them? Now what is the angle between them, these two bonds? Okay, the angle between these two bonds, these two oxygen hydrogen bond, this will be called as the bond angle. इसको बोलते हैं bond angle, because it is form a bond, it is forming a covalent bond between this one. So between this oxygen and hydrogen atom and this oxygen and hydrogen atom. And now these two covalent bond, what is the angle between these two covalent bond? It will be represented by the bond angle. Okay. And in this case the angle is around 104. Okay, 104 degrees around. Okay, angle between this H2O molecule between these two OH bond. Okay, how we can say that? This is two OH bond. One OH bond is this and another OH bond is this. So bond angle between these two OH bond is the 104 degree. So bond angle can be determined experimentally. Okay, now how to determine it? How to determine bond angle? So it is determined experimentally. Okay, with the help of experiments. Okay, with the help of experiments, these can be observed by using spectroscopic technique. Okay, now what are the techniques that are used? Spectroscopic. Okay, spectroscopic techniques are being used. Okay, spectroscopic techniques are used to find out how much is the bond angle between two the different bonds. The value of bond angle gives an idea about the arrangement of orbital. Now what this bond angle gives us? Okay, so as per the formation of the angle, This gives us about idea about arrangement of orbitals. Okay, this gives idea about arrangement of the orbitals, about arrangement, how these arrangements of the arrangement of orbitals, how these orbitals are arranged. ये जो orbitals है किस तरह से arranged है, बराबर है ना? Because if the bond angle is different, the geometry will be different, definitely. So this bond angle gives us a basic primary idea how the orbitals these are arranged. Okay, around the central atom. Right now we can say this oxygen has a central atom. Okay, around which these two hydrogen atoms are present. Okay, and it also gives us bond angle, the shape and or we can say geometry. Okay, shape of molecule. Okay, that is indirectly the geometry of the molecule. It gives us geometry of the molecule also, because this bond angle will decide only these parameters. Okay, so only these bond angles that will decide the parameters. Okay, its shape, its geometry. So this bond angle plays a very important role, and this is very important parameter. Okay, in covalent bond, this will give us idea about the arrangement of the orbitals. It also gives the shape and geometry of the molecules. Okay, and it can be determined experimentally by using spectroscopic technique. Okay, so if we will check the bond angles of some molecules, so for H2O molecule, the bond angle is 104.28. Okay, 104 degrees 28 minutes. NH3, for NH3, it is having 107 degrees. In case of BF3, okay, in case of BF3, it is having sp2 hybridization 120 degree for sp2 hybridization. We already know that. Okay, so these are few bond angles that are present, okay, in between these molecules, NH3 ammonia, BF3 boron trifluoride, and H2O molecule. Another parameter that will focus is the bond enthalpy, and this is very important parameter. Second parameter is the bond enthalpy. Bond enthalpy. Second parameter is the bond enthalpy. Now what this bond enthalpy stands for, what information it does provides, okay, that we'll see. So bond enthalpy, it is the amount of energy, okay, which is required to break. Okay, so consider the example of, right now we have seen just in case of oxygen molecule. Okay, so this one is oxygen molecule, and this one is the hydrogen, and this another one is the hydrogen. So if you will see this in case of H2O molecule, what is the H2O molecule? H2O molecule. So right now in case of H2O molecule, what are the two bonds that are present? So there are two OH bonds are present. Here it is how much? Two OH bonds are present. Okay. So now if we want to break this bond, okay, if we want to break this bond, how much amount of energy is required? That parameter is nothing but bond enthalpy. Amount of what is the amount of energy which is required to break this bond. Okay. So that is called as a bond enthalpy. So amount of energy which is required to break. Okay. So it is amount of energy which is required, amount of energy which is required to break a bond. Okay, now what is this? To break 1 mole of bond. Okay, to break 1 mole of bond. Now why 1 mole of bond? That also I will explain. To break 1 mole of bond. To break 1 mole of bond of one type present between two atoms in gaseous state. Okay, in gaseous state, that is in gaseous state, and it is termed as a bond enthalpy. So for example, diatomic molecules, the dissociation energy is same as bond enthalpy. So in case of diatomic molecule mein, okay, diatomic molecule H2N2 like this. Okay, F2. Diatomic molecules, for diatomic molecules, the dissociation energy is same as the dissociation energy. Dissociation energy is nothing but that is equals to the bond enthalpy. Bond enthalpy. In case of diatomic molecule like F2, N2, we have already seen. Okay, what are the different diatomic molecules we have seen? Okay, earlier before this topic, molecular orbital description of the different diatomic molecules like F2, O2, H2, lithium, Li2. Okay, so these diatomic molecules, the dissociation energy is nothing but the bond enthalpy and its unit. Okay, if you see bond enthalpy, its unit, it is in terms of kilojoule per mole. It is represented in terms of kilojoule per mole. This is the unit of this bond enthalpy, kilojoule per mole. So that's why amount of energy, its unit is kilojoule, amount of energy which is required to break the bond. But break 1 mole of bond. But break 1 mole of bond, but this energy is expressed in terms of kilojoule per mole. यानी एक मोल बॉन्ड ब्रेक करने के लिए, एक मोल बॉन्ड ब्रेक करने के लिए उसको दिस मच अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी इज बीइंग रिक्वायर्ड, which is represented by, yes, bond enthalpy. So bond enthalpy of H2 molecule. So if we say bond example, for example, bond enthalpy in case of H2 molecule. Okay, H2 molecule. So now we'll see here, this is one hydrogen atom, this is one electron from this, and this is another electron from this hydrogen atom, and this is one covalent bond which is formed between this H2 molecule, okay, or between these two hydrogen atoms, and it is right now H2 molecule. So amount of energy which is required to break this bond, this covalent bond which is present right now between these two hydrogen atom, and this energy, okay, bond enthalpy is 435.8 kilojoule per mole. This much amount of energy is being required to break this covalent bond which is present in between these two hydrogen atoms. Okay, so right now this bond is H bond, HH covalent bond, because it is present in between these two hydrogen atoms. Okay, so bond enthalpy is a measure of strength. Okay, now bond enthalpy, it is a measure of strength. So I will write all these parameters because this is very important. So what this bond enthalpy? This bond enthalpy represents, it is a measure of a, it is a measure of strength. Okay, it is a measure of strength. Now how it is a measure of strength? Okay, strength का कैसी यानी ये measurement है. Okay, how it is a measure of strength? So yes, consider this is a bond which is present between these two hydrogen atom. Okay, two hydrogen atom. This energy, this amount of energy will tells us the information that how much strong is the bond. If more is the amount of energy, means the stronger is the bond. If less is the amount of energy, means the less stronger is the bond, means it is weaker bond. Understand? So if higher is the amount of energy which is required to break 1 mole of bond, means the bond which is present between these two hydrogen, any atom, not hydrogen only, but any atom, that will be high. Okay, the bond is very stronger, and that's why उस बॉन्ड को ब्रेक करने के लिए जो अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी लग रही है यहाँ पे, वो क्या हो रही है, ज्यादा लग रही है, बिकॉज बॉन्ड इज स्ट्रॉन्गर. If the bond is weaker, in that case the amount of energy which is required, which will be required, it will be less, because bond is already weaker, and to break that bond, okay, so it is a very simple concept about this bond enthalpy. Okay, so the bond enthalpy, it is a measure of strength. That's why it is a measure of strength of the bond between, okay, it is a measure of the strength of bond. Okay, bond strength, ये measure, it is a measure of bond strength, how much stronger is the bond. Okay, so N bond, it is N2, is stronger than O bond in O2. Okay, if we consider the bond which is present between N, it is stronger than the bond which is present between OO. So larger is the bond dissociation energy, stronger is the bond in the molecule. Just now, as I said, larger is this value means the bond is very stronger in between that atoms. So for heteronuclear diatomic molecule, like suppose HCl, the bond enthalpy was found to be 431 kilojoule per mole. In case of HCl, okay, hydrogen and chlorine atom, the bond dissociation energy was found 431 kilojoule per mole, and it is less as compared with these two hydrogen atoms. So in case of polyatomic molecule, the bond enthalpy and bond dissociation energy are not identical. Okay, in case of poly, okay, in case, so this parameter is very, very essential. In case of diatomic molecule, dissociation energy and bond enthalpy is same. Like example is H2 molecule. This is a diatomic molecule, not polyatomic molecule. Poly means many. Polyatomic means many atoms जिसमें होते हैं present. Okay, that are called as a polyatomic molecule. So the in case of polyatomic molecule, the bond enthalpy and bond dissociation energy are not identical. So this condition is applicable only for diatomic molecule. So this you have to remember. Already I have mentioned that this condition you have to mention that dissociation energy, bond dissociation energy will be equals to bond enthalpy if it is a diatomic molecule, but not in case of polyatomic molecule. For polyatomic molecule, dissociation energy, bond dissociation energy, and bond enthalpy is different. That we are going to see. Okay, what is the difference? So, in case of polyatomic molecule, the bond enthalpy and bond dissociation energy are not identical. Bond enthalpy is the average of sum of successive. Okay, so now this is about the diatomic molecule. Now separately I will write it for a polyatomic molecule. What is the condition for polyatomic molecule and how to write it? Okay, how to understand this concept of a polyatomic molecule? Okay. Yes. Yes. So bond enthalpy, now we'll see it for the polyatomic molecule. Now what happens in case of polyatomic molecules? Okay, in case of polyatomic molecule. Polyatomic molecule. Poly means many, atomic which is having different atoms. Okay, in that molecule. So in polyatomic molecule, the bond enthalpy and bond dissociation energy. So bond enthalpy and bond dissociation energy. Dissociation energy. They are not same. They are not the same. Okay. So in case of polyatomic molecule, because we have seen in case of diatomic molecule, both are same. But in case of polyatomic molecule, bond enthalpy, which is amount of energy which is required to break one mole of bond, and the amount of energy that is dissociation energy, dissociate करने के लिए, okay, वो सेम नहीं होती है. Okay. So bond enthalpy is the average of sum of successive. Now how to calculate bond enthalpy in case of, how to calculate bond enthalpy in case of polyatomic molecule? So it is found, okay, by taking average of the sum of successive bond dissociation energies. So it is taken as, I will write here, average of sum. It is taken as average of sum of successive bond dissociation energy. So yes, we will understand this. What is this bond dissociation energy? Okay, so yes, average of the sum of successive bond dissociation energy. In this way, bond enthalpy for polyatomic molecule, it is to be calculated. Consider the example of dissociation of water. Okay, consider the example of dissociation. Okay, how the dissociation and how this breaking of bond takes place. Dissociation of water. Okay, dissociation of suppose water molecule. So we know that in case of water, it is having hydrogen 2 atoms, oxygen 1 atom, and that's why it is termed as a polyatomic molecule. Understand? We cannot say H2 is a polyatomic molecule because H2 is a same atom, and that's why it is a diatomic molecule. एक ही atom है, but it is having two atoms of the same atom. Okay, and it is here right now. One is hydrogen atom and another is oxygen atom. In this way, if the different atoms that take part in formation of any molecule, that are called as a polyatomic molecule. So you must have very clear idea about polyatomic molecule and the diatomic molecule. What is the difference between polyatomic and the diatomic molecule? So consider dissociation of this water. Okay. So yes, dissociation of water, and that we are showing in terms of gaseous state. Okay, that we are showing in terms of. So this is H2O in gaseous state. Okay. So how it will get dissociate? How it will get dissociate? अभी देखो हाइड्रोजन के दो एटम से ऑक्सीजन का वन एटम है, ऑक्सीजन डायरेक्टली सेपरेट नहीं होगा. Okay, because the bond which is present is right now like this. Okay, it is right now like this. तो पहले क्या होगा, पहले ये एक हाइड्रोजन सेपरेट हो जाएगा, बराबर है, और बाद में दूसरा हाइड्रोजन सेपरेट हो जाएगा. Okay, in this way this is the sequence, first and second. So in very first way this hydrogen gets separate. Okay, in very first step this hydrogen will get separate और remaining क्या रह गया, फिर OH bond रह गया यहाँ पे सिर्फ. Okay, so this is OH bond that is present, and now the amount of energy which is required, okay, to dissociate, the amount of dissociation energy which is required to break this first covalent bond, OH bond, and this amount of enthalpy, okay, delta H1, okay, is right now 502 kilojoule per mole. This much amount of energy is required. Okay, 502 kilojoule per mole. Okay, right now still OH bond is present here. Okay, still OH bond is present. We have to break this bond also. Okay, देखो पहला bond break हो गया. Okay, in this way first bond is, in this way it is. Okay, and right now ये hydrogen separate हो गया. Right now it will break this OH bond. Okay, this will break this OH bond. So what molecule is right now present? Yes, OH. So from this OH in the gaseous state, once again it will get dissociate into hydrogen in gaseous state, okay, and oxygen this in gaseous state. And right now for this case delta H2, amount of change in enthalpy is 427 kilojoule per mole. So this is very important parameter that you have to consider. Okay, that you have to understand here. You look here, very first this is oxygen, this is hydrogen, and this hydrogen. Okay, so right now to break this very first bond which is present between oxygen and hydrogen, it has taken maximum amount of energy, that is 502 kilojoule per mole. Okay, so in very first step. In second step, for breaking this OH bond, okay, ये दोनों भी OH ही bond है, both are OH bond, but the amount of energy which is required to break these OH bond are different. Why this is different, that also we'll see. Okay, so here to break this first OH bond, amount of energy is 502 kilojoule per mole, and to break this second bond, OH bond, the amount of energy is 427 kilojoule per mole, okay, which is lesser as compared with the very first step. So in both the above equations, the bond between O and H is broken, but the amount of energy required to break the bond is different. That is, enthalpies of these two OH bonds in water are different. And this difference arises due to the fact that the cleavage of two OH bonds. What is that? The cleavage, breaking of this cleavage of these two OH bonds. Okay, of these two cleavage of these two OH bonds. Cleavage of these two OH bonds. Okay, so what is this cleavage of these bonds in water? Because cleavage of these bonds of this water bonds in water takes place in two steps. In first step, one OH bond breaks, leaving behind OH radical. Okay, अभी देखो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, दिस इज ऑक्सीजन एंड दिस इज हाइड्रोजन एंड दिस इज हाइड्रोजन. व्हेन इट इज ब्रेकिंग, ओके, व्हेन इट ब्रोक्स दिस फर्स्ट बॉन्ड, ओके, जब ये पहला बॉन्ड जब ब्रेक होता है यहाँ पे, so there it remains another OH bond which is present. Okay, there it remains another OH bond वहां पे बच जाता है. Okay, so in first step one OH bond breaks leaving behind this OH radical, and now the electronic environment around oxygen. Okay, this is about the electronic environment around this oxygen atom. Okay, which is having hydrogen, okay, which is having hydrogen is attached, which is having hydrogen is attached, is different than around oxygen in H2O molecule, and this cause a change in successive bond dissociation energy. So now what is that? Right now the environment when which is present around oxygen when this first bond is breaking right now, consider ये break हो गया. Look at the environment right now present for breaking this second bond. Second bond के लिए जब ये environment है around its oxygen molecule, or sorry oxygen atom, that is different than in very first stage. Okay, so due to this difference in the environment, right now अभी आप देखो, okay, right now only one hydrogen atom is attached here. When the second bond between this oxygen and hydrogen bond is breaking right now, at this point, at this condition, the environment which is present around this oxygen atom, okay, you check, and previously its environment you will check, so you will see the difference, and there is this cause the change in successive bond dissociation energy. Same difference is observed in enthalpy values of OH bond. Okay, in case of, if you observe another example like C2H5OH, okay, ethanol, oxygen here is attached to C2H5. Okay, consider another example, C2H5OH, okay, ethanol. Okay, so in the case of this ethanol, what you are observing, this oxygen here is attached with the C2H5. C2H5 से जुड़ा हुआ है oxygen. Okay, so therefore oxygen here is attached with C2H5 group. Therefore hydrogen of OH is in a different environment than hydrogen of HOH. Okay, so hydrogen is having different environment as compared with the oxygen. So in the same way, the bond enthalpy value of any covalent bond is slightly different for each bond of that kind in a given molecule, and also a different molecule. Means if you will observe, uh, to break the different bonds, okay, to break this one OH bond and the amount of energy, and to break this one OH bond, the amount of energy which is required will have a different energies. You can observe this with the help of these figures. Okay, आप देख सकते हो इस figures में से. So very first step it was required higher amount of energy, bond dissociation energy, which is required to break this OH bond here in case of polyatomic. That's the reason we are saying bond enthalpy and bond dissociation energy in case of polyatomic molecule is not same, okay, because आप देख सकते हो, and that's the reason bond enthalpy is calculated by taking average of these values. Okay, by taking average of these first and second step values, and the average values of bond enthalpy, okay, that's why average is taken, average value, okay, that's why the average value of bond enthalpy, okay, average value of bond enthalpy is taken. Okay, आप देख सकते हो इनका दोनों का एडिशन करके एवरेज निकाल सकते हो. Average value of bond enthalpy, which is mentioned as delta AH, subscript A and capital H. So these are determined from experimentally measured values of large number of compounds containing a particular bond. Average bond enthalpy is data for some of the molecules, for some of the bonds. Okay, so they are provided in the table. Okay, we'll see here. Okay, table number 5.6. We'll check for some of the, we'll write its values. Okay, bond enthalpy values for some of the molecules. So in this way, we will have to take the average of this. Okay, average of this in case of H2 के लिए. Okay, average लेना पड़ेगा. Okay, you will have to calculate the average, and that will be a bond enthalpy. That will be the bond enthalpy, which will be represented at delta AH से represent करेंगे. So why we will mention it with the delta AH? Because this will represent average values. Okay, average value. So bond enthalpy. So this is a bond, and bond enthalpy will write here for some of the enthalpies. Okay, bond enthalpy, which is given by kilojoule per mole. Okay, kilojoule per mole में. Yes. So between carbon and hydrogen, it is around 400. Yes, 400 to 415 kilojoule per mole. Okay. Carbon and nitrogen, yes, less amount of, yes, it is around 292. Yes, 315. For oxygen, oxygen के लिए भी बहुत ही कम है, 175 किलोजूल पर मोल to around 184. Highest in case, yes, कार्बन में थोड़ा सा ज्यादा है, around 610 to around 630 किलोजूल पर मोल. Yes, in case of carbon carbon triple bond, आप देख सकते हो यहाँ पे कार्बन कार्बन ट्रिपल बॉन्ड and highest is 835 kilojoule per mole in this way. Okay, and in case of carbon and nitrogen, yes, carbon and nitrogen which is having triple bond, 854. I have not written for all the, okay, all these bonds, but few of these. Okay, what this represents? This represents bond enthalpy, that is amount of energy which is required to break this 1 mole of bond. Okay, or per mole of bond we can say. And this energy, okay, we have seen how to calculate this in case of diatomic molecule and in case of polyatomic molecules. In case of polyatomic molecules, we will get successively different values of bond dissociation energies. For different steps, we will have to take the average of it. Okay, but in case of diatomic molecule, the bond enthalpy and bond dissociation energy will be same because it is a diatomic molecule. So this is what the difference. Okay, so in tomorrow's lecture we'll see bond length and bond order. Okay,